Welcome back to Poorly Educated Today in the News, where every morning the headlines chug gas station coffee, punch the drywall, and ask why the economy smells like burnt motor oil. Today we got ships getting shot, gas prices climbing, politicians arguing over peace like raccoons fighting over a hot dog, and America trying to celebrate its 250th birthday while the party planner live posts through a meltdown. Segment 1. The ship got a warning, then got a missile. The biggest story today is still the US and Iran mess, which has gone from war to ceasefire to blockade to whatever you call it when a cargo ship ignores more than 20 warnings and gets its engine room introduced to a missile. The Leon Star was trying to head toward an Iranian port, and US forces said no in the language of expensive fire. That is not diplomacy. That is a bouncer at a mud bog who brought an air force. The ship is now sitting in the Gulf of Oman, floating like somebody's pontoon boat after Uncle Randy forgot the drain plug. And the whole thing is supposed to be happening during peace talks, which is like settling a divorce while one person is still throwing furniture off the porch. The deeper problem is that the war goals started out sounding like a full action movie, and now the country is stuck negotiating like everybody lost the receipt. The US wants Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, stop playing toll booth with global oil, and hand over nuclear material like it is returning borrowed hedge clippers. Iran wants the blockade lifted, money unfrozen, and proof America will not change moods faster than a possum in a porch light. Washington hawks are mad because the deal does not look like total victory, and the economy is mad because oil does not care about campaign slogans. Now the administration has to choose between looking tough and getting gas prices down, which is basically choosing between a giant belt buckle and groceries. Segment 2. Gas prices are doing parkour over everybody's wallet. That brings us straight to the economy, because every foreign policy decision eventually walks into your kitchen and raises the price of eggs. With the Strait of Hormuz messed up, oil markets are acting like a lawnmower that hit a brick, and regular people are catching the pieces. Gas prices have jumped, shipping is more expensive, fertilizer is pricier, and every grocery aisle feels like it should come with a finance plan. Experts use words like stagflation, but normal folks call it "I worked all week and somehow my paycheck evaporated like spilled beer on blacktop." The wild thing is Wall Street can still set records while Main Street stares at a $4 gas sign like it just insulted their mama. Then, because one economic headache was not enough, the administration also pushed big steel and aluminum tariffs right when prices were already acting possessed. That means cars, appliances, farm equipment, tools, and anything else made of metal can get more expensive, which is a fun surprise for anybody repairing a tractor without taking out a second mortgage. The government keeps calling it strength, but strength does not help much when your debit card is wheezing like a beagle in August. Farmers are looking at fertilizer costs like the bags are filled with ground-up diamonds and regret. If the first segment was about missiles in the ocean, this one is about the blast radius landing in every checkout lane in America. Segment 3. Peace talks, Lebanon, and the world's worst group chat. While the Iran talks stumble around like a calf on ice, the wider Middle East keeps adding side quests nobody asked for. Israel is pushing deeper into southern Lebanon. Hezbollah is firing rockets and drones. Civilians are getting shoved into fear again, and everybody claims they are responding to the last response to the response. That is how conflicts go from a fire in the ditch to the whole hayfield catching, and then some guy in a suit says it is a controlled burn. The US is trying to keep the Iran ceasefire alive, while Israel and Hezbollah keep making the region sound like a fireworks stand next to a tire fire. Peace diplomacy is starting to look like a family reunion where every cousin owns a leaf blower and a grievance. Because the world cannot let one crisis have the spotlight, the administration is also trying to soften things with China at the same time. That is probably because you do not want a Middle East war, an oil shock, and a Pacific showdown all running at once, unless your strategy was written by a squirrel chewing an extension cord. President Trump has been praising Chinese leader Xi Jinping, while officials tell allies America is still committed to the Indo-Pacific, which is a diplomatic two-step so fancy it needs tap shoes. When one crisis drains money, ships, patience, and credibility, every other rival notices. America is trying to look everywhere at once, and right now it has the energy of a dad at Walmart who lost 3 kids. Segment 4. Immigration, babies, UFOs, and baseball somehow. Back home, the domestic policy machine is running hot enough to cook a gas station burrito on the hood. Immigration enforcement has ramped up, deportation flights are increasing, detention centers are becoming protest sites, and the debate is being handled with the emotional delicacy of a chainsaw juggling contest. People are arguing about borders, labor, families, courts, and basic dignity, all while the economy needs workers like a county fair needs extension cords. Then the culture war pulls a hard turn into birth rates, with leaders and billionaires talking about needing more babies like America is a declining chicken coop. It is strange to watch a country say leave faster and reproduce harder in the same breath, like the national plan was scribbled on a napkin by a rooster with a podcast. And when you think the dashboard cannot blink any more warning lights, the government starts releasing old UFO files, baseball owners start talking salary cap, and everybody pretends these are separate stories. They all point to a country where trust is thinner than gas station coffee. The UFO thing might be real transparency, or it might be the oldest circus trick. Point at the sky while the cash register catches fire. And baseball fighting over money during inflation is almost too perfect, because nothing says national pastime like millionaires and billionaires arguing while fans decide whether a hot dog requires a payment plan. Segment 5. Freedom 250 turned into a backyard political bonfire. Now all of this is crashing into the White House's political problem, because approval numbers are dropping, people are mad about prices, and the Iran war is not exactly polling like free pie. The president spent the weekend firing off social media posts about court rulings, AI pictures, judges, signage, and whatever else wandered across the screen like a squirrel in a feed store. A judge blocked the Kennedy Center renaming plan, and suddenly the national conversation turned into a homeowners association meeting with nuclear codes. It is hard to sell strong leadership when the vibes feel like the group chat after somebody's uncle discovered image generators. Then there is the Freedom 250 celebration, which was supposed to be a unifying birthday party for the country, and somehow turned into a political bonfire with a merch table. Several musical acts reportedly pulled out. The event got more partisan, and the whole thing started looking less like a national celebration and more like a county fair stage after the headliner saw the porta-potty situation. America turning 250 should be a moment where everybody gets one slice of sheet cake and pretends we are not mad for 10 minutes. Instead, it is becoming another loyalty test, because apparently even fireworks now need a political clearance form. That is the theme of the day. Foreign wars shake the economy shakes the public shakes the politicians, and the politicians respond by shaking a tambourine in a burning tent. In conclusion, today's news is one long reminder that chaos does not stay in its assigned lane. A missile in the Gulf of Oman can become a gas bill in Indiana. A failed peace talk can become a grocery problem. And a birthday party for America can turn into another argument over who gets to hold the flag-shaped cake knife. We are being told everything is under control, but the whole country looks like a pickup truck hauling fireworks, gasoline, and divorce papers down a gravel road. So buckle up, keep your receipts, and maybe do not trust anybody who says the plan is working while they are actively looking for the instruction manual.